Look at this. If you've been paying for months and the balance won't go down, it's not bad luck, and it's not your paycheck. It's a mistake that repeats in silence. And what's even crazier, the Bible describes it with a clarity that's almost frightening. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the 10 biblical secrets of money. But first, if you don't fix this one mistake, the rest won't help you, because this mistake is what keeps you in debt even when you work harder. That mistake has a name, even though almost nobody dares to say it out loud. It's chaos. Not the chaos of you don't make enough. The chaos of living in reaction mode. The chaos of putting out fires with a credit card. The chaos of paying whatever screams the loudest today and sacrificing your tomorrow. And when that chaos becomes normal, debt stops feeling like an emergency and starts feeling like your identity. But it's not your identity. It's a cage. Picture this scene. It's nighttime. The house is quiet. When it feels less than, when it wants to impress, when it feels empty. If you feel like this is speaking directly to you, don't leave quietly. There are people who earn a lot and still drown, and there are people who earn modestly and build. The difference isn't the number, it's wisdom applied in daily life. Picture it like sand. But he asked for wisdom, and that one decision positioned him to manage with a completely different mind. It wasn't magic, it was priority. And here's the mistake that keeps almost everyone in debt. People don't want to look, they'd rather feel like things are okay. They'd rather close their eyes and wait for a miracle. But a miracle doesn't replace management. A miracle doesn't organize your account. A miracle doesn't cancel forgotten subscriptions. A miracle doesn't stop midnight impulse shopping. A miracle doesn't negotiate your debt. A miracle also doesn't decide for you. Order doesn't mean being cold. Order means being honest. Because real anxiety comes from what you refuse to face. The invisible becomes a monster. Let me show you a scene. Someone opens their banking app. They see numbers. They don't understand anything. They close it. They breathe. They promise to change and repeat. That is modern slavery. Not because they're stupid, because they're living without order. And order starts with one decision that seems small, but changes your destiny. For 30 days, you will write down every expense, every single one. What you eat, what you pay, what doesn't count, what was just a little. Because those little things are the invisible leaks that feed your debt. And here's the secret inside the secret. Debt doesn't break only by paying. Debt breaks by closing leaks. Because if the leaks continue, paying debt is like scooping water with a cup while the roof is still dripping. Now, if you decide to do this, write one word in the comments. Order. Not for me, for you. Because when you declare it, you stop being a spectator and become the main character. And listen, this isn't to punish you. It's to give you power. When you know where your money goes, your money stops controlling you. And when you bring order to your financial house, you'll be ready for the third secret. The one that opens doors money alone can't open. The third secret is obedience. Obedience that sets you free. A lot of people think, when I have money, I'll do the right thing. The Bible teaches the opposite. When you do the right thing, you begin walking toward provision with peace. Obedience is a strong word, not because it's religious, because it's personal. It's that voice inside you that says, don't buy that, and you buy it. That warning that says, don't sign that deal, and you sign it. That nudge that says, stop going into debt to look impressive, and you justify it. And every time you ignore that voice, the chaos grows. The Bible tells of a man who left what was familiar without seeing the full map. It wasn't comfortable, it was trust. And that obedience made him the root of a future. Now bring that into your life. Obedience could be walking away from a partnership that looks profitable but destroys you inside. Obedience could be saying no to a lifestyle people applaud, but that suffocates you. Obedience could be forgiving a financial betrayal and ending the revenge cycle that pushes you to spend out of rage. Yes, spending out of rage is real. People buy things to prove they're fine, while inside they're broken. But here's what almost nobody understands. Obedience is not loss, it's pruning, and pruning prepares growth. Picture a tree. If you let it grow without direction, it tangles, weakens, and breaks in the wind. But when you prune it, it hurts for a moment, and then it produces fruit. Money works the same way. Obedience hurts because it forces you to cut. Cut habits, cut cravings, cut appearances, cut excuses. And here's the truth. Debt feeds on elegant excuses. I deserve it. You only live once. I'll pay it later. It's an investment. And sometimes it is an investment. but many times it's just emotion wearing a suit. Ask yourself, no drama, just truth. What financial disobedience do you repeat the most? Impulse, spending, avoiding your numbers. Debt for image, lending money you can't afford to lend, saying yes under pressure, being generous to look good, then suffering in silence. Change doesn't begin with 10 perfect decisions. It begins with one act of obedience today. Choose one thing you will cut, starting now. Just one. Hold that decision for 7 days. Only 7. Because you're not building a cage, you're building freedom. And when you obey in small things, something happens. Your mind gets stronger, your self-respect rises, and chaos starts losing its grip. Now listen carefully, this is key. Obedience opens the door, but you need to know what to do when the door opens. That's where the fourth secret comes in, the one that turns money into a tool, not a master. The fourth secret is money with intention. There's a line that sounds simple, but can save your financial life. Every dollar without a mission ends up as a leak. Every dollar without purpose becomes emotion. The Bible shows wise people who store, prepare, and think about tomorrow. And it also shows people who consume without limits, like there is no future. If I ask you today, what is your money for? Many would answer, to pay bills, but that's surviving, not building. Money with intention means you decide first, then you spend, not the other way around, because most people spend first, and then try to see what's left, and what's left is almost always nothing. So debt shows up to cover the gap. That's the mistake. That's the cycle. That's next month. Let me turn that into an image. Your money is like soldiers. If you release them with no orders, they scatter. If you align them with a mission, they conquer your future. Intention starts with 3 clear destinations. 1. Your real survival. 2. Your growth. 3. Your freedom. Real survival is not indulgence. It's what keeps your home running. Growth is what moves you forward. Freedom is what breaks debt. And here's the move that changes the game. Before entertainment, fund your future. Before cravings, protect your peace. Before impressing, build your base. This isn't being cheap, it's being strategic. Want a concrete practice? When money hits your account, first set aside something to attack detour, to build a peace fund. Then set aside what's essential, and only then decide the rest. This isn't advanced math, it's leadership. Because when you govern yourself, debt stops governing you. Not so I can see it, so you can read it. Some words wake up the heart when it needs it. And if you're thinking, sounds good, it's not going into debt to look like a good person. That's chaos too. Biblical generosity is alignment. If your heart is ruled by pride, you'll stay in debt for appearance. If your heart is ruled by anxiety, you'll buy relief. If your heart is ruled by envy, you'll compete. Generosity breaks those inner masters. It gives you the steering wheel back. And this is practical. Generosity isn't always money. Sometimes it's time. Sometimes it's help. Sometimes it's teaching someone something. Sometimes it's opening a door. Sometimes it's being fair when you could be abusive. Sometimes it's learning to say, I can't today, but I can in another way. But there is a clear principle in Scripture. The one who refreshes others will also be refreshed. Not as a trick, as a consequence. Because generous people build relationships, honor, and trust. And money also moves through trust. Opportunities open through reputation. That's how life works. Here's an example. Some people live closed off, tight, suspicious. Their world shrinks, their opportunities shrink, and they don't realize that isolation attracts more isolation. Generosity opens the chest, and when the chest opens, the mind sees possibilities, but ends in destruction. In finances, that path often looks normal. Normal debt, normal stress, normal minimum payments, normal shopping to calm yourself. It has signs that say, buy now. Signs that say, you'll pay it later. Signs that say, you deserve it. Second, reduce the leaks. The small leaks that don't count. The subscription you forgot. The daily craving. The impulse buy because stress. The spending from social pressure. Late fees. All of it is chaos in disguise. Debt doesn't just squeeze your wallet, it squeezes your mind. I wasn't made to prosper, that's for other people. I just survive, and if you accept that voice, your decisions align with that prison. Scripture talks about a transformation that starts in the mind. Stop copying the world's mold and start thinking differently, not to deny reality, to change destiny. A scarcity mindset makes you react, it makes you cling to the immediate, it makes you buy out of fear. It makes you accept bad deals out of urgency. It makes you believe your only way out is luck. It makes you say no to what destroys you. It makes you ask the question that changes everything. How can I create value? That question is a door. Because the person who creates value doesn't just earn money. They gain influence. They gain opportunities. They gain networks. They gain a future. But renewing your mind doesn't happen by wishing. It happens by what you consume, what you listen to, what you watch, what you repeat. If you consume fear all day, you live anxious. If you consume comparisons, you live envious. If you consume to be someone, you go into debt to feel like someone. Change your mental diet. Feed your mind wisdom. Stories of discipline. Principles.com. Vision. And here's a simple practice. For 7 days, when you wake up, say out loud, I govern my money. My money does not govern me. Not because it's magic, because it's a reminder, a defense line, a new identity built through repetition. And here's another turn. A renewed mind won't help if your body and your schedule stay the same. If each week you pay a little extra on the debt, even if it's small, interest starts losing power. 2 minutes, that's it. 2 minutes of honest attention. Build a habit that feels easy, almost silly, but do it daily. A daily habit defeats a giant enemy. Want one? Every night before bed, write 3 lines. What I spent today, why I spent it, what I'll do differently tomorrow. That's a conversation with yourself, and that conversation matures you. Debt is afraid of a conscious person. And listen, some people don't need more money. They need more awareness. Now, halfway through this journey, I'm going to ask something simple. If this message is lifting you up, share this video with someone who's drowning in debt and doesn't talk about it. Sometimes freedom comes because someone sends you the right words at the right moment. Let's keep going. Because even with habits, there's an invisible force that can lift you or sink you. The 9th secret is who you walk with. Scripture says, walking with wise people makes you wise, and walking with fools breaks you. With money, that is brutally real. There are good people with kind hearts trapped in debt because their circle pushes them to spend. Come on, don't be like that. Buy it to deserve it. Just borrow it's no big deal. Everyone does it. And little by little, that person becomes a character they can't afford to maintain. Your circle can be an engine or a leak. Your circle can be a valtor, a hole. And I'm not talking only about friends. I'm talking about voices, accounts you follow, content you consume, conversations you live in, mentors, people who inspire discipline or sell you smoke. The Bible shows nobody builds alone. Great things rise with counsel, structure, and the right allies. So do this. Find one wise connection, one person or space that talks about order, work, honor, discipline, and step away peacefully from what pushes you to compete. Because competing with reckless spenders is like running into a fire. You'll end up burned. There's a kind of friend who cheers when you buy, but disappears when you cry over the debt. And there's another kind of friend who makes you uncomfortable with truth, but saves your future. Choose discomfort with a future, not applause with ruin. And now we reach the 10th secret. The 10th secret is what protects prosperity from destroying you. Because yes, some people get out of debt and then lose themselves. The 10th secret is prosperity with purpose. The Bible warns that trusting riches as if they are your security is a trap. Not because money is evil, because money is an instrument, and any instrument, if it becomes a throne, enslaves you. Money as a tool serves you. Money as a master consumes you. Prosperity with purpose means your financial decisions serve something bigger than your ego. They serve your home. They serve your peace. They serve your legacy. They serve your community. They serve your impact. There are people with a lot of money and zero peace, and there are people with little money and a peace worth more than $1 million. What's the difference? The place money holds in the heart. When your purpose is clear, money stops leaking, because purpose gives it direction. When your purpose is clear, saying no becomes easier. When your purpose is clear, appearances stop seducing you, because you no longer need to impress. You need to build. Let me ask you something, no judgment. Why do you want to get out of debt? To breathe, to sleep, to have time with your family, to build a project, to leave a legacy. Name it, because what isn't named evaporates. Now let's return to the beginning. The mistake that keeps you in debt is chaos. Living in reaction mode, living without looking, living on impulse. And every secret you learned today is a way to turn on the light. Wisdom, order, obedience, intention. generosity with alignment, a change of direction, a renewed mind, daily habits, the right connections, purpose, 10 secrets, 1 route. But here's the final truth. Knowing it doesn't change you. Applying it frees you. So let's do this. Today, choose one action. Just one. The simplest one. The one you can do in 10 minutes. Cancel one leak. Write today's expenses. Set aside a small amount to attack the debt. Pause before buying. Say no to pressure. Look at your account and don't run. One action today. Because today is the day next month dies. And now I want to hear from you. Write in the comments, I am free, and tell me which of these secrets you're reapplying first today. And if you know someone who's in debt and living it in silence, share this video with them right now. It might be the spark they needed to wake up. Subscribe and turn on notifications because what? Coming ISNT motivation. It's a clear plan to leave chaos and build a future with peace. Remember this every time a purchase tries to control you. Some decisions cost money, and some decisions cost destiny. You've already chosen to build a future.